Did you recently get really angry and barely had the strength to contain yourself? Or maybe you didn't have the strength to contain yourself and now you regret your behavior? Let's see how anger management can help you keep your life and relationships healthy. To be honest, fits of anger can be looked at the same as fights, as in the best fight is the one that never happened, which means that the best anger fit is the one that was never manifested. This is why it is important to nip aggression in the bud, to disarm it, so to speak, before it becomes uncontainable and causes unpleasant situations. You know the saying, prevention works better than cure? Well, it's applicable 100% in this case. The subject of aggression is rather vast, which is why let's try to see what you can do when you're already in the middle of an angry fit. The main thing is not to go to extremes. Active anger expression, as well as a silent and passive exit out of a conflictual situation, can provide relief here and now. However, in the long run, both of these strategies are harmful. The former reinforces anger and further aggressive reactions, while the latter causes avoidance and hinders immediate problem resolution. Instead, try to master skills which will get you back to your balanced state even in critical situations. Learn to resolve your conflicts as an adult. The first thing to try to do is abdominal breathing. Abdominal breathing is probably the simplest way to calm yourself down. When you breathe using your abdomen, your diaphragm becomes active and air reaches not only the lower parts of your lungs, but also the upper. The key here is to make a slow and deep inhale and a slow, deep, and slightly longer exhale. Another option is to breathe by the count of 5 to 7. 5 counts to inhale, 2 counts to hold your breath, 7 counts for exhale. Try doing about 2 or 3 cycles of such breathing and your emotional state will become more manageable. I promise. Another simple yet powerful method to lower your aggression is remembering and then repeating long phone numbers to yourself. Try remembering at least 3 such long phone numbers. Imagine that you're phoning Korea. Or you could try and remember a verse from a poem and recite it to yourself. Trust me, it works. Once you feel like you've collected yourself, you can get into the conflict resolution. Constructive resolution of your aggressive reactions always starts with admitting to yourself that you indeed have this problem. Do not deny your aggression. Do not look for justifications. Do not blame yourself. Just own this aggression. Admit it's yours. Acknowledge it. After all, we're all people, and we have the right to make mistakes and feel inadequate at times. After you feel like you've collected yourself, try to think logically and redirect your aggression from the person to his or her unfit, by your opinion, behavior. Try to see that it's not the person who's bad. It's her act. It's her action that's unacceptable for you. If you're able to make this attention shift from the person to her behavior, then it will become viable to preserve constructive relationships and possibly even solve the problem together. There is an ecological way for expressing your disagreement to another person's behavior, and it always starts with an I. Always speak in the first person. Do not rush to blame the other person because people tend to tune out of conversations when they're bad-mouthed. So either your companion will completely mentally shut you off, or on the contrary, that person will get angry as well, which will lead to further conflict escalation. But if you start speaking frankly about your feelings, about your emotions, about your thoughts of how to resolve the conflict, then chances are that your words will find their way to the heart of your companion, and he or she will actually hear what you have to say. Try saying something along the lines of, I feel so hurt right now. Please help me understand what just happened. In cases where you're being criticized, try to acknowledge your companion's feelings and views. Try to accept this notion. He has a right for them. Do not evaluate how valid or legitimate they are. Merely acknowledge that your companion has another point of view on the subject, and he has the right for that. And then offer your companion to consider the situation from your position and say something like, I understand your point of view, and let's try to see what it looks like from my standpoint. Rigid requirements always laid the foundation for aggression. It's what we therapists call the shoulds. I should do this, you should do that, and he should have done all of that. We apply these shoulds to ourselves, to other people, and to the world in general. And anger may arise in situations which do not suit our point of view of what the situation should be like. If you feel aggression, then ask yourself, what's wrong? And if this is wrong, then how do I think it should be like? Write these shoulds out on a piece of paper and do this trick with them. Exchange each should for I want to or I don't want to. So if your mother says something like, you should lose weight, do the trick in your mind and transform that potentially resentful phrase into, do I want to lose weight? And if the answer is no, then your mother can go and lose all that weight herself if she desires to. It works this way. It's not something that I should do, but it's something that I would like to do or wouldn't like to do. It's not that people should do this or that. It's what I want them to or don't want them to do. Say the phrases from your list out loud and see how your reaction to them changes. What happened? Which new ideas pop into your mind when all of a sudden you realize that you don't owe your mother any weight loss? What can you do if you do want to lose weight, though? What do you want to do? What are you ready to do? All the mentioned methods have been tried and proven over and over again. Try whichever one you like and choose the one that fits you best in this or that situation. Experiment. And remember that we do not choose most of life's situations, but we can choose how to react and act in them. Good luck.